Today, I'm going to show you how to make espresso with nothing but an AeroPress. To do this, you're going to need an AeroPress, you're going to need a grinder that can grind coffee quite fine, or you're going to need pre-ground out coffee ground for espresso. You're going to need a scale, you're going to need AeroPress filters, you will need a strong mug. You will understand why we were doing it in a strong mug shortly. And you're going to need a kettle. Does not need to be a gooseneck. This one does not need to be a gooseneck though. You can do this with any old kettle. So, step one, we're simply going to measure out our dry dose. So, just in a 0 order scale here, and we're going to measure 20 grams as if we were pulling a double shot of espresso in any other method. 20.1, good enough. Now, step two is we're going to grind this very fine for espresso. So we're just going to crank our dial here down to around 11 on this grinder, but you just want it like at a fine espresso grind on your grinder. So as fine as you can get it for espresso. You don't want to go too fine, but you can go very fine because we're going to use a paper filter. We're going to take our AeroPress, take it apart, put the filter in the bottom like you would normally. Clip this guy on, make sure it's on there nice and tight. Now, this is where things get interesting. We're going to pour our dry dose of coffee in. So we're getting our dose in. Beautiful. Now, give this a little shimmy to make sure it's as level as possible. Then, you're going to find something that's going to act as your tamp. Now, this is a spice bottle that fits perfectly. And I'm just going to use that to act as my tamp in the AeroPress. Now, I want to be clear. This is not going to be perfect. You're going to get some coffee up the side. Shake that raw stuff loose into the middle and just leave it. You don't need to retamp. Now, here is the tricky part. You need to get a second filter on top of your coffee bed. Once again, this is an imperfect science, so you're going to have to tamp it in there as best as possible. All right, so now we have our 2 filters and our coffee in between. We're going to 0 order scale here, and we're going to add 45 grams of water on top. Okay, I'm terrible at pouring, but close enough. Okay, so now that our water is in this chamber and the AeroPress is ready to go, remove your scale. This is a key part because you're about to press really hard. Take your plunger, put it in here. Push like heck. Listen, if this is easy, this will not work. You need to generate espresso machine pressure here. So, this is why I said earlier, make sure you have a nice strong mug. And if you look here, whew, you have espresso, my friends. All right, guys, so there you have it. Delicious espresso with nothing but an AeroPress. Now, to be clear, this is technically not espresso. This is as close as you're going to get, though, using an AeroPress. Now, key things to remember here. Number one, make sure your grind is fine enough that it should be very hard to push down. Otherwise, you're not going to get the pressure that makes espresso or things that are close to espresso taste and have an experience like espresso. And then number two, make sure you're using the double filter system. It just is the best way, in my opinion, to get all that pressure so that you can make something that is like espresso. And this will work great as a base for a homemade latte or anything like that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have an AeroPress and want to see how to use it to make normal coffee with the inverted method, check out this video over here or over here. I can't remember where I put it. It's over there somewhere. Thank you so much.